Hi, this is Greg Jones, 1623 Custom Harmonicas. I'm a Seydel dealer and a Seydel technician. And in today's video, we're going to start a journey together learning the Chromatic Harmonica. So I'm going to take mine out real quick. I have a handy chromatic case that I keep mine in. And so what we're going to start with is just some of the basics on the chromatic. So when we play chromatic, we kind of have to accept the fact that chromatic harmonicas require a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of maintenance. It's just kind of what we have to expect with chromatic. So we should know that up front when we start our journey. And I would also like to say that if you're going to start, you should also consider strongly private lessons. Hopefully this will get you started though. So the first thing we want to know though is that the enemy of the chromatic is saliva and moisture. Excess moisture builds up inside the chromatic, and because of the parts in there, it can cause things to behave kind of funky, kind of off. So one of the ways that we can prevent excess moisture and saliva from building up inside the chromatic is a technique we call warming. And so when we do that, what we want to do right before we start playing our chromatic is we want to bring it to the instrument as close to our body temperature as possible. So what happens when the chromatic is one temperature, let's say colder than our body, and warm, moist air goes into it, this causes condensation. The mismatched materials and the reactions inside there cause a buildup of moisture and, even worse, saliva. And so one way we can prevent that is, before we start playing, is to just hold it up against our body, in our hands, up against our body, but we want to raise the temperature of that. So while you're doing that right there, I am going to go over a couple things that you might find kind of interesting on the chromatic. So what we want to look at, this is a 12-hole chromatic, and you'll hear these referred to as a 12-hole or sometimes as a 48. That's because there's four distinct notes, or possible notes in each hole, and it's 12 times 4 is 48. But anyhow, if we look at hole 1, 2, 3, 4, so we have four holes there. Those comprise the basic tuning sequence of a solo tuned chromatic harmonica. So these four holes will repeat themselves at every octave. So we have octave 1, octave 2, and octave 3. This is a 3-octave chromatic. So when you learn one octave, the first octave, you can play the same patterns of notes as you go up the harmonica. So this will become more clear to you down the road, but I thought I would go ahead and explain that. So hopefully you're warming your harmonica up, and as you're doing that, I am going to explain one other thing, and that is that in this case we have a C, solo tuned harmonica. So as I said, we have 4 notes. So we start on a C and end on a C. Those 4 notes repeat, starting again on a C and ending on a C, and starting on a C and ending on a C. So what happens when so what's going on here is that we have basically adjacent C notes, and that can be a little bit confusing. This will become more obvious as we continue on our journey, but that is something that that we should make note of, is that we have adjacent Cs, and so as we go forward, this will become more clear, and we'll figure out ways and techniques to work around those dual notes. Anyhow, once again, I'm Greg Jones, 1623 Harmonicas, your Seydel rep and tech, and we're going to start this journey learning the chromatic harmonica together. Thank you.